in a violent nature. The trailer for this movie was shown constantly in front of pretty much every R-rated movie I saw since January. So it was been like beaten into me. But kind of like the trailer for Quiet Place Day 1, constantly. But the trailer was very, very interesting because the trailer itself was a slow burn. It didn't show much. It showed like one dead body of a woman kind of floating to the top of a lake. But that's it. And it just absolutely fascinated me. Now, much like the trailer, the movie is a slow burn. It's actually quite slow. Some people very much will not like this movie because it is so slow. It's told mostly from the perspective of our killer, Johnny, with kind of his motivations are kind of weird. It's paper thin, I guess is the proper term. I don't want to get into it I don't know how to get into it without spoilers, but it's paper thin. Basically, he rises from the grave to kill a bunch of people. There is a reason why, though at the same time there are 2 people that die who are just there. They had nothing to do with why he was going after the other people, but at the same time it kind of gets into how a wild animal just kind of works off of instinct. So that's kind of what our killer, I guess, is doing. He's just working off of instinct. At this point, all he knows how to do is kill. So that's what he's doing. Some of the kills are fantastic. One of them might be the most creative I've ever seen. And I've seen more horror movies than I can possibly count. If there's any regular viewers watching this, you know I'm a big horror fan. It's my top genre. So to say that in all my years, this is the most creative kill I've ever seen, that says something. But in general, there are a lot of good ones. There's some kind of like ones. It's like, okay, I've seen that before. There's a couple of off-screen ones. We see the corpse afterwards, so it's implied what he did to them. And there is one where it's shown in the trailer, where he's like beating like somebody senseless in the head. And that is, in the movie, a very, very, very long sequence. Like, he does it for what seems like forever. It's almost uncomfortable how long he does it for. Like I said earlier, it's told mostly from the perspective of our killer. It's a lot of behind shots of him just walking through the woods. A lot of the movie is actually just him walking through the woods and the footsteps through the woods and the sounds of nature. There's not too much dialogue in this movie. So it's like, okay, this is interesting. We finally see his face about, I say, halfway through the movie or so. It is pretty creepy, and during the scene, it just kind of confirms to us who he is, because a little earlier on, somebody tells a story about something that happens, and it's just kind of confirms who this killer is, though it's never truly explained why he's able to rise from the grave. Ultimately, in a violent nature, I enjoyed it because it was different. It's a slasher that's slow and methodical. It doesn't just constantly beat you over the head. Our killer takes his time, mainly because he walks at the pace of like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. Though the old adage, no matter how fast you run, Michael Myers walks faster. And this is sort of kind of the case, but our final girl, he doesn't really catch up to her, and saying there's a final girl is not a spoiler. There's always a final girl. I liked the overall filming style of Behind Our Killer and the slow, methodical pace of it. And the kills, fucking awesome, especially that one. But I can definitely see why some will not like this movie. And that's because of its slow and methodical pacing. It's because of the brutal kills. No, this kind of thing, it's not for everybody. A lot of people are going to be going into this movie thinking it's going to be just your regular old slasher movie, and it's not. It's a movie that kind of makes you think a little bit, not too much, but like a little bit. The acting, decent at best. Again, the story, paper thin. But just in terms of the kills in general and how they shot it, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give In a Violent Nature... I'm going to give it a C+. Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.